Chapter 10, Maverick. As we wander back to our room after the game, there is no denying the heavy blanket of tension weighing down the air in the elevator. She likely suspects I know her secret. That's fine. After a good night's rest, I plan to lay everything out for her. Anyway, it's the only way I can keep her safe and win. She begins readying for bed the moment we step into the room. Kneeling on the floor, she digs into her bag until she finds what she needs, and then she scurries off to the bathroom. Seconds later, the shower kicks on. I try to stop my mind from going places it shouldn't, but it's useless. The woman just too damn pretty for her own good, and I bet she's even prettier when she's wet. The lighter in my pocket calls my name. It speaks in a sing-song voice and begs me to flick the wheel until a spark ignites. Once the flame heats the metal, I'll hold it to my skin and lose myself to visions of dark-haired woman touching herself in the shower. I pull my hand away from my pocket and stand before I do something stupid. The last thing I need is for her to walk into me, furiously beating my dick while intermittently burning myself. After stripping down to my boxer briefs, I call down to the room service and request a cot. Minutes later, a bug-eyed man appears at the door. Burn scars cover his face, along with several long scars that look like the work of a blade. Thinning hair stands in a short spikes on his head, letting his scalp shine through. "Here's the cock you wanted, sir," he says, as he hands it to me with a smile. He cranes his neck to look up at me. "You don't plan to sleep on it, do you? You're so tall." "I'm not that tall." I place the cot against the wall, then turn back to the man. "You're just a bit short, pal." The man laughs like I've just told a joke of the year. "You're right about that." My eyebrows pull together as he wanders off. It's odd enough that he's too chatty, as most of the staff doesn't mingle with the sinners. But it's incredibly strange that he would laugh that hard at what I said about him, almost as if he were trying to get me to like him. With a shake of my head, I begin setting up the cot as I commit his face to memory. Maybe he's another agent. Whoever he is, he wasn't wrong to worry about how I'll fit on this cot. Was it made for a child? When I lie on it, I feel like Allison in goddamn Wonderland after she outgrew the house. The bathroom door slides open and Frankie emerges from a thick cloud of steam. I forget all about my awkward sleeping arrangement as I watch her step toward the sink to begin her routine. A routine which turns out to be very deft, explaining the lack of wrinkles on her face. She swipes, smooths, wipes, and rinses for the next 15 minutes, and not once does she realize I'm watching her. If she's truly a fad, she's not a very good one. Aren't they supposed to have a killer sixth sense? I'm openly fucking staring at this point. I begin to wonder if perhaps she's just pretending she doesn't notice me. But then she leans forward, and I'm sure no one would clean nose go while someone else was watching. Yet, she's still so adorable as she takes a cotton swab and swipes inside her nostril. Tipping her head upward, she holds her mouth in a downward position to get a better look. That's when the laugh springs out of me. Frankie jumps a solid foot in the air, then pretends to busy herself with whatever she strained all over the sink. With a huff, she shoves the bottle into a small leather bag. I don't know what's so funny. I didn't laugh when I came out of the bathroom and you were greeted by a fucking gullah trying to lie on the townsperson's bed. I pull my knees to my chest so that nothing hangs off the cot. Touche. Just take the bed, Maverick. It makes more sense. She pushes the leather bag to the side of the sink, then steps closer to the cot. Is it comfortable at least? When I was in high school, I spent a night in a field after a party. I was too drunk to carry what I slept aside. I was too drunk to care when I fell asleep, but when I woke with a cow padding as a pillow, rocky earth served as my mattress. My back and my ribs ached for a week. Despite all of that, I can confidently say I take that over the cot. So, you take the bed. Frankie sliced her dark hair into a ponytail. Frankie slicks her dark hair into a ponytail, then motions for me to get up. I'm not putting you through that. If you don't want to share the bed, I'll sleep on the cot. I was never opposed to sharing a bed. I just figured that I'd be more comfortable if we didn't. She smiles and shakes her head. I'm older than you, but I'm not a pearl-clutching goody two-shoes who subscribes to the ways of the past. My morals aren't at risk just because I'm forced to share sleeping quarters with an attractive man. What if I'm worried about my virtue? I smirk up at her. After all, I'm not the only attractive party in this scenario. Oh, so you're cocky. Consider my loans officially granted. Get in the bed, Maverick. Frankie strolls closer to the bed, then sits on the edge and pulls the blanket cover over. To fully protect your precious penis from my vagina, I'll even sleep on the top of the comforter. Wouldn't want you to slip inside me while I'm sleeping. The mental image is more than I can stand. If I weren't so damaged, I'd have gotten one out of a boner from thoughts of fucking her as she sleeps. My brain takes the fantasy further, imagining how she'd look up at me when she wakes up so full of me. Are you coming or not? I fucking wish. Not wanting to look too eager, I sit up and offer an exasperated but very big sigh. She thinks she's pulling teeth to get me in bed with her, but I want nothing more than to get a little closer. Her chosen profession is acting as more of an anthropristic than a deterrent. The aspect of danger makes any situation more exciting, and none more so than sex. And nothing would be more dangerous than letting a long arm of the law reach out and grab me by the dick. I ease beneath the comforter on the empty side of the bed, and my body immediately thanks me. The luxury mattress far surpasses the thick swathe of canvas that supported me minutes ago. Frankie shuffles around under her thin blanket on the top of the comforter until she's facing me. She lies on her side with her hand tucked under her head. See, isn't this better? Yes, much. You forgot to turn off the light, though. She opens her mouth with a wide yawn, which she quickly covers with her hand. I can't sleep if there's any light. Once I'm out, you can do whatever you want. Whatever, and I won't budge. But falling asleep is the hard part for me. Just last night, I made fun of Ezra for getting the remote for Kendra when it was closer to her. Yet, I stand and go for the light switch, mere feet from her side of the bed, without so much as an argument. Maybe our ancestors weren't so wrong about witches being a threat, because I certainly feel like I'm being put under a spell right now. On the way back to my side of the mattress, my pinky toe collides with one of the bed metal legs. Pain sears up my spine, and I'm not convinced the toe is still attached. The tiny digit hurts to the point of numbness. I clamp my teeth together as water fills my eyes. The woman in the bed probably already thinks so little of me, what with me being so much younger than her, and the fact that I'm a serial killer. If I start crying about a stubbed toe, she'll think I'm a fucking child. My mouth opens in a silent scream as I grip my ankle and lean against the foot of the bed. As long as my voice doesn't betray me, she'll never know I'm fighting for my life over here. Not with the total darkness in the room. Everything okay? She asks. I hold my breath, count to 3, and plead with my vocal cords to cooperate. Hi. Yep, just trying to find the bed. My voice cracks on the last word. I clench my eyes and silently scream again before patting the mattress and saying, found it. I hobble the rest of the way, using the bed as support, then climb back under the comforter. Several silent minutes pass as Frankie tosses and turns. Finally, she settles, and I begin to drift to sleep. Can you jiggle the handle? Her voice cuts through the darkness, and my eyes pop open. The toilet, It keeps running, and it's all I can hear. You know, if you're asleep, you won't have to hear it. Please. With a sigh, I get out of bed once more. I'm careful to use the mattress as a guide this time, though, and I make the trip to the bathroom without incident. After a jiggle of the handle, the toilet finally stops, quiets, and I make my way back towards the bed. Unfortunately, I forget to feel my way through the room on the return trip, and my big toe collides with the corner of the wall. I grit my teeth and hold my breath so that I don't scream. Bracing myself against the wall, I suffer in silence as my toe throbs in time with my heartbeat. You may want to consider wearing shoes at all times, Frankie says. I've never met anyone who stubs their toe twice in one day, let alone twice in a span of 10 minutes. Wearing a cloak of embarrassment and cursing under my breath, I hobble back to the bed. Since she's a government agent, I'm not stupid enough to want to impress her and make her like me. But if I could maybe not look like an incompetent toddler for the rest of the cruise, that would be great. Once I'm under the comforter, Frankie performs her toss and turn ritual again. Now that I've silenced the noisy toilet, I can only hope she'll go to sleep. When I'm rewarded with soft snores, 10 minutes later, I smile to myself and close my eyes, happy to finally put this day behind me. Tomorrow, well, tomorrow will sort itself out eventually.